students. Today I am going to start new chapter number 2, acids, bases and salts. In this chapter, I will teach you characteristics of acids, bases and salts. What are alkalis? Chemical properties of acids and bases. How strong are acid or base solutions? Importance of pH in everyday life. Preparation of some chemicals from common salt. Students, characteristics of acids. Acids are sour in taste. They turn blue litmus to red. They give H positive ion in aqueous solution. Acids corrode metals. Acids can be classified into two categories. Strong acids. Strong acids are those acids which can dissociate properly in aqueous solution. Example, hydrochloric acid and sulfuric acid. Weak acids. Weak acids are those acids which cannot dissociate properly in water. Example, acetic acid and citric acid. Now, characteristics of base. Bases are bitter in taste. They turn red litmus to blue. They give OH negative ion in aqueous solution. They are soapy in touch. Bases also can be classified into two categories. Strong bases. Strong bases are those bases which can dissociate in water properly. Example, sodium hydroxide, potassium hydroxide. And weak base. Weak bases cannot be dissociate properly in water. Example, ammonium hydroxide. Students, what are alkalis? Alkalis are bases which are soluble in water. Example, sodium hydroxide. Now, indicators. Indicators are the substances which changes their color, smell in different type of substances. Friends, indicators can be classified into three groups. Number 1, natural indicators. Number 2, synthetic indicators. Number 3, olfactory indicators. Natural indicators are found in nature in plants. For example, litmus, turmeric. Synthetic indicators, these are chemical substances. For example, methylene orange, phenolphthalein. Olfactory indicators, these substances have different smell in acid and bases. For example, vanilla essence, clove oil. Students, now chemical properties of acids and bases. Number 1, reaction of metal with acids. When acid reacts with metal, it gives salt and hydrogen gas. When base reacts with metal, they also give salt and hydrogen gas. Testing for hydrogen gas released can be tested by bringing burning candle near gas bubble. It bursts with pop sound. Friends, now reaction of metal carbonate or metal hydrogen carbonate with acids. When acid react with metal carbonate, metal hydrogen carbonate, they give salt, carbon dioxide gas and water. Bases do not react with metal carbonate and metal hydrogen carbonates. Now students, next chemical property of acids and bases. Reaction of acids and bases with each other. When acid and base react together, they form salt and water. Example, hydrochloric acid reacts with sodium hydroxide. They form sodium chloride and water. This reaction is known as neutralization reaction. Students, now next chemical property is reaction of metallic oxides with acids. Acid reacts with metallic oxide. They form salt and water because metallic oxides are basic in nature. Example of metallic oxide is magnesium oxide. Magnesium oxide is basic in nature. When it reacts with acid, they form salt and water. Next chemical property is reaction of non-metallic oxide with bases. Non-metallic oxides are acidic in nature. Example of non-metallic oxide is carbon dioxide. When base reacts with non-metallic oxide, they form salt and water. Students, what do all acids and bases have in common? All acids have H positive ion. These H positive ions responsible for their acidic properties. All bases have OH negative ions. All these OH negative ions responsible for their basic nature. Now next chemical property, acids and bases in water solution. When acids dissolve in water, they form hydronium ion. Example, hydrochloric acid reacts with water. When it dissolves in water, they form hydronium ion and chloride ion. Now bases, when bases dissolve in water, they form positive ions and OH negative ion. Example, sodium hydroxide, when dissolved in water, it forms sodium ion and OH negative ion. Students, now what are salts? A salt is a compound which is formed by complete neutralization of base by an acid or acid by a base. Acid reacts with base, they form salt and water. This reaction is known as neutralization reaction. Some common examples of materials obtained from common salt are sodium hydroxide, baking soda, washing soda, bleaching powder and plaster of Paris. Preparation of some chemicals. Number 1, sodium hydroxide. Sodium hydroxide is prepared by passing electricity through an aqueous solution of sodium chloride which decomposes to form sodium hydroxide. Baking soda. The chemical name of baking soda is sodium hydrogen carbonate, NaHCO3. Preparation of baking soda. Sodium hydrogen carbonate is prepared in the laboratory from sodium chloride by passing carbon dioxide gas through a cold solution of sodium chloride saturated with ammonia. Now bleaching powder. Preparation of bleaching powder CaOCl2. Bleaching powder is prepared by passing chlorine gas over dry slaked lime. Washing soda. Sodium carbonate decahydrate. Preparation of washing soda when sodium bicarbonate is ignited to give sodium carbonate. Students, now plaster of Paris. Chemical formula of plaster of Paris is CaSO4 and half molecule of water. Preparation of plaster of Paris. It is prepared by heating gypsum at 373 Kelvin. CaSO4, 2 molecule of water, this is gypsum. By heating, it forms POP, means plaster of Paris, and 1.5 molecule of water. pH scale, a scale for measuring hydrogen ion concentration in solution called pH scale. The P stands for power, H stands for hydrogen. On the pH scale, we can measure pH generally from 0 very acidic to 14 very alkaline. Higher the hydronium ion concentration, lower is the pH value. The pH of neutral solution is 7. Value less than 7 on pH scale represent an acidic solution. As the pH value increases from 7 to 14, it represents alkaline solution. Importance of pH in everyday life. Our body works between pH 7 to 7.8. pH of rain less than 5.6 called acid rain. Our stomach produces hydrochloric acid. Tooth decay starts when pH of mouth is less than 5.5. Plants need specific pH for their healthy growth.